Good morning, good morning. How y'all doing this morning, this fine morning, Sunday morning? You know, I was just sitting here thinking this morning, coming to church, I was listening on the radio to some talking heads about football next year and the combine and all that good stuff this year. And, um, they were stolen their wisdom on the sports on everyone. Well, excuse me for a moment, I'm trying to do something. Um, the thing is, man's wisdom is not wisdom at all. Uh, we depend too much on what man thinks, what man says. I'm listening to the election going on and things of that nature, campaigning and, how we uh, listen to pundits speak about Trump or Biden or somebody like that. And, I just want to bring these words to you this morning. It says, it's found in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, starting in verse 18. It says, "For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of this world? For since in the wisdom of God, the world, through wisdom, did not know God, it pleased God through the foolishness of the message preached to save those who believe. For Jews request a sign, and Greeks seek after wisdom. But we preach Christ crucified. To the Jews a stumbling block, and to the Greeks foolishness. But to those who are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ is the power of God and the wisdom of God. Because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men." You see, our wisdom, our smarts, are less than God's. If you're listening to the smartest man on earth, he's still dumber than God. If we want true guidance, if we want true understanding, if we want true wisdom, then we need to turn to the one. We have to turn to the one that it comes from, and that's God. If you're watching this morning, you're not a believer. It says right here, you're not going to believe a word I say unless you begin to listen. If you think you know everything there is to know about everything, if you think you know this Bible backwards and forwards, you can quote every verse in this Bible and still not know it, and still not have wisdom. All these people out there talking about, well, we need to do this and we need to do that and this and that and all this other good stuff. No, there's one thing we need to do, and that's to listen to God. Look, what's going on in your life. Just step back, take a breath, and listen to God's voice. If you're His child, don't let this world trick you. God's wisdom is going to tell you what you need to know. God's wisdom is going to guide you out of the situation you're in. The wisest man is the one who sits back and trusts God. We don't try to fix it ourselves. In verse 24 here in 1 Corinthians, it says, chapter 1, it says, "But to those who are called both Jews and Greeks, Christ is the power of God and the wisdom of God." Now, I don't know a whole lot of things, and I'm not the smartest cookie on the platter. But I do know this, and I'm smart enough to figure this out. I don't know the answers, but God does. And all I got to do is trust God, listen for Him, follow Him, and do what He says. Now, that's the hardest thing for us to do, is to listen to God and follow God, because, we want to take control. We want to be the one in charge. We want to know what's going to happen. And in reality, we never know what's going to happen when we make a decision. One of two things is going to happen. Well, one of three things. One, it's going to fail. Or it's going to semi-work. You're just sort of in a holding pattern. Or three, it's going to work. But when we make that decision, or when we come to that conclusion, we don't know what the outcome's going to be until the outcome gets here. But I can tell you right now, if we trust God, follow His instructions, He knows what the outcome's going to be. He knows where we're heading. He knows what we're doing. So we just need to trust. And that's the hardest thing for us. Some of you are listening to this and say, man, this guy's a fool. Well, I'm glad to be the type of fool you call me to be. If I'm a fool for trusting the one who created this world, and for the one who created me, then I want to be that fool. Because I'm telling you, God's real. Heaven's real. Satan's real. Hell's real. And you're going to choose one or the other, Satan or hell, or Satan or God. Who's going to be the fool? Until next week, God bless you, and go out and do something for somebody. Bye.